everyone, Kelly Dean Allen here again. In commemoration of this album's release 50 years ago today, I'm going to show you guys how to play one of its greatest riffs, the riff to a National Acrobat from Black Sabbath's Sabbath Bloody Sabbath album. That said, is this Tony Iommi's most underrated guitar riff? Because it certainly seems to show up on a heck of a lot of lists with regards to that particular topic. Personally, I'd also throw in Supernaut, Voodoo, and Into the Void into that equation while we're discussing underrated Tony Iommi riffs, but this one certainly should be up there as it's an absolutely killer riff. Let's learn how to play it, yeah? Alright then, the very awesome riff to a National Acrobat, Tony Iommi and Black Sabbath from Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. We are tuned down to C sharp, so we're down a step and a half here. So this riff. So we're starting on the 5th fret of the A string. We're going to hammer on to 7, and then you're going to pick it twice. Then you're going to do a double hammer on from 5 to 7. Drop down to the 5 of the D, slide it back to 4. And then we're going to hammer on 5 to 7 again, and this time we're going to pick it 3 times after we hammer on. Right? Palm muted. Then you're going to jump up here to the 9 of the D, slide it back to 7, and then off to the 5 of the A. Then we're going to go up to the 7 of the low E, string skip down to the 4-5 of the D, and then you're going to do a little double trill between 4 and 5, right? And then start the riff again. And you're going to repeat that 4 times at the beginning of this track, and after the first 2 repeats, a harmony joins. So that's the harmony. We're harmonizing in thirds. We're basically playing the exact same thing as the main riff, right? But all here on the 11-12 of the G and the 10-12 of the B. Starting on the 11-12, right? Double hammer on, and then you go down to the 12 of the B, pull it off to 10. Back to the 11-12. Those 3 palm muted notes in a row, right? And then you're going to pull off 12 off to 10 of the B again, back to the 11 of the G, and then we finish with this. 12 of the D, down to the 11-12 of the G, and then the little trill, the same trill we did back here on the 4-5, we're going to do it on the 11-12, right? So that's the harmony. And then we drop into the first verse. Now this song doesn't really have a traditional song structure. There's no chorus, it's just a whole bunch of verses, and then the song changes, and then there's more verses, and so there's no real chorus. So the first verse is just a bunch of power chords, an E power chord to a G power chord to a D power chord to an A power chord. G, D, A, repeat the riff. And then you repeat the first verse again. Repeat the riff. Now the second verse, the power chords change. We're going to go from C to B to G to A. B, G, A, riff. And then you repeat that. C to B to G to A, riff. repeat. And then we're into the second verse, same as the first. E to G to D to A. Repeat the riff, right? And that continues for the second verse, same, and then you go off to C to B to G to A. And mid-song we drop into this. So all going on here on the 5s and 7s, right? Sliding into 7 of the low E, hammering on 5 to 7 of the A. Repeat. Except the second time you're going to do a double hammer on. Then you're going to go down to the 5 of the D, 7 of the A, 5 of the A, back up to the 7 of the low E. And then one final hammer on 5 to 7, right? Couple of chugs of the low E string, then you're going to grab a double stop on the 12 of the D and the G, slide out of it. A few more chugs of the low E string, grab that double stop again and slide out of it. Bum 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 bum. And that goes on forever. It goes on for about a minute and a half. He sings a couple of verses over it, and then he solos over it, and then goes back into another verse over it, and then about 3/4 of the way through the song, everything changes into something completely different. So it's a very unstructured type of track, and we're not going to get into the outro, the last minute of this one, as this was really just about the main riff, and the rest we can consider a bonus, all the verses and whatnot in that section there. So I certainly hope you enjoyed the video, found it helpful, and if you did, please hit that like button right down there. Maybe drop me a subscribe if you haven't done that already, as that would be very kind and helpful to the growth of my little channel. Hope you're well out there in your little guitar corner of the world, wherever that may find you these days, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.